Hello everybody and welcome back to Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler and this week we're playing Postmortem Lunge. That's right, Postmortem Lunge and Eldritch Evolution. I think this is the best version of a Vizier of Remedies devoted Druid combo deck you're going to see. This week we played against Jeskai Control, we played against Mono Blue Tron. There was some sweet matches to be honest. And we played against, normal old-fashioned Tron. Pretty good, actually. It was a lot of fun this week. So we're going to go ahead and jump into the games here. There'll be a deck tech at the end. You can follow the links in the description. But if you're ready to watch the games, let's go ahead and jump into it. Thank you for watching, everybody. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler, and this week we are playing the newest brew here using these cards. So you've seen a lot of this before, right? You've seen devoted Druid combos. I understand that. I am highlighting this deck because this is a different look at it. We've seen a million versions of this combo. We've seen it go in Elves, we've seen it go in company decks, we've seen it go in what you might call turbo decks that play free mana and stuff like that. This is actually kind of a different version. This has Postmortem Lunge, and this is just all about the consistency. I mean, heck, we're playing Fauna Shaman to make this happen. No companies, only Court of Callings in the deck. So kind of a different take on this. Might be the best way moving forward to play the archetype. I'm not positive. We're going to find out. That's sort of the point here, right? So, with that said, looks like we have a lot of what we need here, to be honest. We're one half away from the combo. I think I played Devoted Druid here. We might just have the win. Next turn, let's see, depends if we hit land, maybe. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana. Nope, that's enough. We can cord for the win next turn. If our board stays the same, our opponent leading on Celestial Colonnade. I can only assume there's going to be counter spells or removal in there somewhere. But we'll find out. If they just did something, well, yeah, like that's probably not great for us. I'm going to go ahead and fetch here. So we're not messing around with any black. We're basically just a toolbox deck. Eldritch Evolution and Postmortem Lunge. I mentioned it. That is going to be our plan here. And what's really nice about that is Postmortem Lunge not only gives you increased consistency that Court of Calling does, it means that your sideboard gets really nice. You can... Alright, so let's see here. I guess I'm just going to pass the turn. Yeah, just pass here. Yeah, your sideboard gets all kinds of fun one-of creatures to interact with your opponent. Eidolon to stop Storm, different, Kataki for Affinity, that sort of stuff. And that's what we're really leaning on here. So my opponent taps out here, they're in trouble. If they do basically anything, like play Search for Esconte, they're going to be in trouble. Obviously, if they have Path, they're still fine. But let's go ahead and see what happens here. We'll just go ahead and cord for 2. This should give us the combo. I'm sure our opponent has Path up, though. I can make infinite mana on their inset. Maybe I should have just untapping onto my main phase. Or my opponent just doesn't have it at all. I think we win here. We should just be able to play our Ballista and kill them. Heck, the nice part too, Shalai is such a good piece of this deck. By the way, we just easily roll out to a win there on turn, I guess it was turn 4. But Shalai is so good in the deck because not only does it protect your combo when it's in play, it's a combo piece itself. People were playing Ronus before. You don't need to. You just play Shalai because with infinite mana, you just put a 1/1 counter on each creature you control. It doesn't have trample, I guess, so that's a price you pay, but hey, worth it. All right, so against control here, I definitely want this Thrun, that's for sure. I'm fine with Ralliers. Rallier is the other nice part. Look at this deck. This deck is entirely just toolbox and search and recursion, Eldritch Evolution, Postmortem Lunge, Renegade Rallier. Just so many ways to get our creatures back, and just you're going to relentlessly combo your opponent at some point. All right, so what else do we want here? Scavenging Ooze, I think we want. Merciful Cleric, maybe. I saw all cards from target player's graveyard. It is good against them. Selfless Spirit we definitely want. All right, what can we cut here? We can probably cut we definitely cut some Eldritch Evolutions. As much as I love, and trust me, if you've watched Mighty Modern for a long time, I realize it's been a long time since I've played a deck like this now, but if you watch Mighty Modern, you know I love Eldritch Evolution. This card is sweet. I love Eldritch Moon as a set, and this card's one of the reasons why. So, but not very good against counterspells, because sacrificing a creature is an additional cost. So, so I can board out all of them here. I can get Spellsky maybe to protect. Might be reasonable. I also get Magus of the Moon. Don't know if our opponent's just on... Now, this is crazy to me that this is in the deck. There's no red sources in our deck outside of Prince of Paradise. But hey, against Tron, you just cord for it, you Eldritch Evolution for it, shut him down. It's worth it. I can even get the Spell Guide in here. Just to protect from path and that sort of thing. And we'll see what we're able to do here in game 2. Might be in for a long haul against blue-white, but deck is pretty powerful. Yeah, I guess I'm into this. I mean, it's hard to know exactly what we're looking for, but hey, I've got the infinite combo in my hand, so yeah. It's crazy how this deck just keeps getting better. I mean, Abzan Company decks were a thing for a really long time, and they were great. I loved them. Sometimes they won playing fair, which is my favorite part. Sometimes you just Gavany Township people to death. But sometimes, obviously, you would just combo them out with 3-card combos. Now you have 3-card combos, except all the pieces are just so much better. This is a Mana Dork, works well with Court of Calling. I guess this one is not particularly great, but if you're playing Kitchen Finks, it works well with that. But Shalai is just insane on its own. Wow, that's a lot of Noble Hierarchs here. Alright, well. Do I just want to play Hierarchs? Depends if we think we're going to get Wrathed or not. I kind of like playing Hierarch. Guess we'll just play both our... Maybe I just play all the Hierarchs. I think that's actually going to be my plan here. This is maybe an odd plan, but I'm actually just going to play all the Hierarchs and attack. Because it doesn't look like much, obviously. We're just playing 0-1s here. And maybe we may or may not win this game. But I think attacking for 3 every turn actually pressures our opponent at least a little bit, while not exposing any of our combo pieces. So if our opponent were to, say, be forced to wrath our board with these 3 Noble Hierarchs in it, then we can just untap, play Devoted Druid, and at least we've done something, right? We've made them respect something other than the combo. You know, maybe that's the right line. Maybe it'll work. Maybe it won't. We'll see here. But they are Jeskai, so I mean, Blood Moons, they're nice to them, so probably not very good, but good to know. All right, first things first, attack for 3. And drawing this this Walking Ballista was actually pretty nice because it means I'm going to attack for 3 here. Well, actually, I'm probably just going to pass the turn. I'm going to see if they have a Wrath first. I'm going to do nothing. I was going to say we can play Shalai and have 6 mana and just have a path to victory that way. I mean, that's a completely reasonable thing we can do. By the way, the Dryad Arbor, I don't know if you've seen it when we've been searching, but it's in the deck, so you can fetch it. Well, we're going to draw it, too. You can fetch it, and then Eldritch Evolution it away to get a combo piece, which is a nice little piece of tech. Like I said, until our opponent makes us do something else, I think I'm just going to keep attacking. I think they've probably got a verdict here. Maybe. I have no idea what they're doing, but... Well, there's something I can play at least, because that's a threat. I have no idea what's going on, but we are attacking our opponent and just stockpiling our hand. No way they're going to take this one, right? Surely not. Oh, yeah, but see, we force them to burn a path. All right, and now next turn they can fire up Colonnades and stuff, so I do probably need to play something this turn. I'm just going to play Fauna Shaman. It has protection from Mana Leak. Protection is the wrong word to use, but we can't get Mana Leaked here. We have 3 mana open. All right, well, there you go. Should I play the Dryad Arbor? That's kind of the next question here. It still only attacks for 3. I think we just pass with our Shaman and see what happens here. Like I said, they of all the decks that could have a good matchup against this, Jeskai Controls, I think, got one of the more reasonable matchups. They have a bunch of removal, they have board wipes, they have counter spells. I wonder if our deck could actually use Cavernous Souls. Probably not. I mean, there's not really any overlap here. Elf, Druids, Angels, or Clerics, rather. Oh, we have plenty of mana. So our opponent cannot fire up the Colonnade this turn because they played a tap land. So I'm just going to attack for 2 with the Hierarch, I think. I think they've shown me they don't have a Wrath. I think they just have counter magic or something. Maybe. I have no idea what's going on over there. But we're going to find out. They're going to Snapcaster to block. My thing's going to be a 2-3. I don't know if this is what they're going to have to path. This is just not at all what they wanted to be doing with this game. Like I said, that triple noble hierarch draw, they want to path our Fauna Shaman? Sure. I'm going to pitch the Dryad Arbor. And go get something, don't know what yet. Probably Selfless Spirit. Spellskite's also pretty good, though. And I have enough to play around Mana Leak again? Nice. I'm going to get the Spellskite. And they're going to path us again here. Yeah, just none of this is what our opponent wanted to be happening. Like I said, maybe, and I don't know exactly how they wanted the game to play out, but taking a bunch of damage off Hierarch beats and then Snapcaster pathing and still getting knocked down, it just can't be what they wanted to do. I'll play Spellskite here. If they have a Wrath, they have a Wrath. I mean, I'm not trying to claim that we're going to win this game, but we've at least made it difficult for our opponent. We're not just running our combo pieces out. We're actually able to provide some pressure playing our worst cards first. Now we have to do something. I mean, heck, our opponent's actually in... that could be good. Could be good later. Our opponent's actually in a little bit of danger of getting natural Ballista out of the game. Not yet. Now they have a bunch of mana open. I could attack with a 2/6 Spellskite. That's actually reasonable. This is so weird, but I think this is actually a reasonable play. If our opponent wants to fire up their Colonnade and block it with both, they can kill it, but then they've tapped down a bunch of mana and I can actually resolve something. Might even resolve a Ballista to kill the Colonnade at that point. Are they just going to take 2? Wow, they're going so low. Maybe they're sitting on Lightning Helixes I don't know about, but... Alright, I'll give him something to care about here. We'll play the Devoted Druid. Remember, the thing about Devoted Druid is, if you untap with it and you play Vizier, they actually can't stop you from comboing at that point, because Vizier of Remedies is in play. You can just activate this ability to untap it and go off and make infinite mana in response to the removal spell. So they actually have to... You have to untap with this. It's obviously the trick, but... Oh, what, we're getting Field of Ruin? Sure. But the thing is, with Postmortem Lunge in our deck, we can bring it back with haste. So there's just, that's what I'm saying. This deck just has so many ways to put its combo in play and has redundancy. And now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. We actually just have enough mana to cast a lethal Walking Ballista if we wanted. I'm not going to, because that's later, but we could. Alright, our opponent's attacking, so surely there's a Wrath coming now. At which point, I'm going to attempt to win. We'll see. Alright, there's a Verdict. No, what is this? Terminus? Oh, Terminus is actually way better for them. Okay. Yeah, Terminus is actually far better for our opponent there. I was going to win otherwise. We'll try to win. Alright, so I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana. I could Ballista for 3. I wonder if it's worth getting it down. They have to have Path, and even then I get to shoot them really low, and then just try to Postmortem Lunge something back from my graveyard later. I think that might be good. They held up Lightning Bolt. It seems to be what they did here. Well, let's think that one through then. If they held up Lightning Bolt, maybe I just play Shalai and Vizier. Shalai can't get bolted, and it will give the Vizier hexproof. I don't know if this will work or not. We'll give this a shot. I mean, it's definitely going to resolve. It comes down to whether our opponent has another Wrath or not. But I mean, heck, just untapping with Shalai and 6 mana up is a threat in itself here. This is, I don't know if we're favored or not at this point. I would say that there are a lot of ways our opponent can make a misstep to lose the game. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, huh? I think that I attack with the Shalai. If my opponent tries to fire up a Colonnade to block, Then I just pump the team in response, make our Shalai a 4/5, which means they're probably going to have to do something else to it. And then maybe I just play Walking Ballista with the ability to shoot them and then hope to Postmortem Lunge back Shalai and win. That's the hope. We'll see here. A lot of things could go wrong for us, but they're going to Cryptic Bounce, huh? Okay. Well, fair enough. Lightning Bolt our Vizier. Sure, that's actually fine. Let's see if this resolves. No, okay. I can actually get behind that, to be honest. They didn't really gain a lot of... I mean, I guess they did fine. They bounced and cycled. So, they basically went neutral there. That was a fine turn for them. But it's not terrible for me either. Duskwatch, huh? That's a nice value creature. That is just activate to get cards in our hand. That's a completely reasonable card to draw as well. Alright, now with the Arena Combat, our opponent's thinking about a Cryptic. It's too bad Postmortem Lunge is not an instant. That would be sweet. It would be pretty busted if it was. Alright, they're going to tap draw here. Okay. Shalai's been tapped. Play Duskwatch. Now see if this resolves. That's pretty nice. We get a... Yeah. Alright, so it's hexproof. Our opponent... This is so good for us because we have 6 mana open. We can activate Shalai or activate this twice if they go for a board wipe. Our opponent just took so much damage with those Hierarchs. It gives us a lot more outs than we would have otherwise had. And that's why I took that line early. Alright, I think I'm better off activating Duskwatch rather than pumping the team here. I just want to refill my hand. The run's pretty good too. Not very good against Terminus, but pretty good in the abstract. Taking some damage off of this is not ideal, I guess, but I think it's probably fine. Oh, also, by the way, they didn't cast any spells. Oh, we missed. All right. It's unfortunate. Took 2 damage for nothing. Could have drawn a cord, too. It's actually going to transform into a 3/3 that makes our Ballista cost 1 less to cast. Devoted Druid, huh? That's actually the one I want in my graveyard. I want the Vizier in my hand. Alright, well, let's just attack. See what happens. Attempt to attack, anyways. Snapcast or Cryptic, I just get to play Tron post-combat, keep Regeneration up, and they have to have Terminus. They're treading water here, but they're going to cast 2 spells. We're going to get this back even and be able to activate it if we need to. Thron's going to be pretty hard for them to beat. Tap, draw. All right. I don't want to take any more damage off Canopies, though. Otherwise, we're just going to get Lightning Bolted plus Colonnade plus Snapcaster, which would actually be pretty bad for us. That would be one of the ways we could lose. Oh, it costs 1 less? Oh, well. I might go ahead and just play this Druid out. Then no, I'll just let the mana go to waste. That's fine. I have double regeneration up for it. You want to path Shalai, huh? That's fine. Shalai did its job. It put on a lot of pressure. Now we get to get this back. We still have Tron. Tron itself is a nice path to victory. We're still sitting on the Ballista if we're able to poke in any damage to our opponent. They're down to 4 cards in hand. I am scared. I'm most scared of the Celestial Colonnade, though. And I don't really have any ways to deal with it. But they're not going to do it, so that's pretty good for us. Okay. Do I want to take one to activate this? I don't think so. Oh, that Hierarch's actually a nice draw because it makes the Thrun lethal. That's kind of sweet, actually. All right. They're going to have to chump block, I think. Yep. Alright, so if they go Snapcast, if they have Bolt in hand and Snapcaster Cryptic on our end step, this would actually be a pretty heads-up play by them. If they Snapcaster Cryptic in our end step to tap down our team, they could then fire up the Colonnade, get in for that and the Snapcaster that they play for 6, and then bolt us to death. So really all it takes is a Snapcaster in hand. So I have to decide if I want to play around Snapcaster. I don't think I see any reason not to play around Snapcaster. That's what we lose to right now. That's what I'm going to attempt to beat. I don't know. Maybe they don't have it, and maybe what we play doesn't matter anyways, but we're going to try. Right, so I'm just going to make this Ballista for 2. Oop. Yep, I can keep 1 mana back here. Alright, sorry, I got to back up a bunch here, but we can actually play this thing for 2. Alternatively, next turn I could play it for 1, 2, 3, 4. I actually just have lethal with it next. Well, this is so rough. I have lethal with it next turn. I just have to decide if I want to die or not. That's what it comes down to. Okay, I'm just going to go for this. I'm going to try to play around Snapcaster Mage. We'll see. Yeah, this is going to be rough. We have no removal in our deck, keep in mind. They've certainly got something here. What is it? Logic Knot, huh? Okay. Well, I cannot pay 7. That's true. May as well play the Devoted Druid at this point, I think. Oh, I keep overpaying for stuff. Dang it, that might cost me a life, too. Not often you transform this thing. Alright, well, our opponent needs another board wipe. They didn't have the Snapcaster. We still have a Tron. We can still regenerate Tron. They need a Terminus here. I'm just not doing myself any damage. Alright. Actually, transforming this is kind of annoying, to be honest. Alright, well, let's swing with Tron. My opponent's got to have something good here, or they're going to die. I could also just cash in canopies for cards at this point, I guess. Wow, are they really going to fire this up to chump block? That feels bad. Wow, okay, that's what they're going to do. That's got to be good for us. I'm happy to just pass back after that. Remember, we can always just, even if they do get rid of this somehow to our graveyard, we can just Postmortem Lunge it back. We're still, yeah, we did it, all right. I say we're still a dog to like Terminus or something there. Would be pretty bad for us since we'd be able to cash in canopies and, wow. Well, we would have found the combo, actually. We could have played Druid, tried to untap, Postmortem Lunge this back, and go from there. That was a rough game, to be honest. That's a hard matchup, I think. But hey, we did it. We were able to just apply enough pressure and then lean on Tron, which is, yeah, it turns out a thing you can do in Modern. That was awesome. Thank you for watching, everybody. Green, white, Postmortem Lunge, getting it down, I guess. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome back to some more Mining Modern. Looks like we're up against Tron this time around. Well, my hand was that's not bad. This hand was a little sketchy, but we were on the draw, and we have 8 mana dorks, so we could hit a mana dork, could be real good. But even without that, it was a decent hand. But Tron, oh, it's blue Tron though. Okay, never mind. I was gonna say against a Tron player representing turn 3 Tron with that expedition map, our hand was a lot less exciting. But blue Tron is a different story. Different story entirely. I'm going to go ahead and play this Duskwatch Recruiter here. I would assume that my opponent has a Remand or something. But if, say, it's a, a Condescend or whatever for 1, then I didn't want to run out Fauna Shaman. That said, I think this just resolved, and that's not bad for us either. Alright, so they will either do nothing on their turn, and we'll just get to attacking with a 3/3 that discounts the rest of our creatures. Wow, they went for the Academy Ruins first, huh? Interesting. Okay. Does he get back the map? Alright, they're just trying to set up for that long-term value. Sure, why not? What is this mana? Pain Life. Oh, we're getting dismembered? Oh, deal. That is exactly why I played that Duskwatch Recruiter first. Pretty happy with that development. Alright, so here I think it's just time to play Fauna Shaman. Let's see what happens. We even can pay for a Condescend. Not Remand, though. Can't deal with getting remanded. Fair enough. Well, I was fine with everything that's happened, but honestly, our opponent probably is too. It's turn 4, and we don't have anything in play, so I'd say this has just been a normal back-and-forth game so far. This is Karn or something? That'd be annoying. It is a 4-drop of some kind. Oh, that's annoying. We can beat that, but that is very annoying. Okay, so let me think this one through here. I think the plan is to attack, or to pass, get a Dryad Arbor, Eldritch Evolution the Dryad Arbor into a Devoted Druid? Eldritch Evolution, Dryad Arbor into Devoted Druid. Then Cord. Because even if X equals 2, the convert... Oh my gosh, that's annoying. Okay. Oh, that made us so much worse. I think I still go for it, but man, that's worse. Just by an absurd amount, actually. Alright, well, I can Eldritch Evolution into a 3-drop. Let's go ahead and fetch so we can see what we're looking at here. Renegade Rallier would work. Get back Duskwatch Recruiter. But that's not really what we need. Oh, wow, well, I guess they're going to do this. That's fine. In fact, this actually works out kind of good for us. Kind of well for us. Yeah, in fact, this may have been the best thing that could have happened. Nowhere in any of the lines that I take did I consider my opponent misplaying and giving us a chance to kill their Ballista. We lose our Ballista too because they can just shoot it back here in response, but that's actually just fine. I'm happy to trade Ballistas. Our opponent's at 2 cards in hand now, and we have a lot of good cards. Well, I say that. We have 2 cards as well, essentially, because we have 2 cards we can't play. But all in all, that could have been a lot worse. Because their Ballista on the table meant we would basically never win. Getting their Ballista off the table means we have a shot. They might just have some Haymaker here we can't beat anyway, so... Well, that's a pretty good one. That's kind of terrifying, actually. They gotta go get their Minds... Oh, they got a Wormcoil. Okay, well, Wormcoil is more beatable than Mindslaver, actually. I could Cord for 2. They're holding up Remand or something of the sort here. Could also just draw. Draw with Horizon Canopy, play Renegade Rally, or get back Horizon Canopy. Or Duskwatch. Wormcoil's kind of annoying. I could just pass the turn. Let them tap out for Wormcoil. Cord for 2. Okay. I'm going to Cord where X equals 2 on their end step, I think. Go get our Devoted Druid and then go from there and see what happens. Keep in mind, with Renegade Rally in our hand, actually draw... Oh my gosh, they're going to do nothing? Well, got to make them do whatever they're going to do. Renegade Rallier actually gives us a way to get back one of our combo pieces. And if we draw it, we can just cast it into Chalice of the Void and let it die. In fact, we could do that with Vanish on it, maybe. But no, we need. This is pretty important here. I got to get the counterspell out of our opponent's hand here, so we can try to have options on our turn. I'd also get back the Dryad Arbor and Eldritch Evolution it. And we're getting condescended. I will not pay 1. Our opponent went... Oh, what? What just happened? Oh, it got countered by their own treasure, their chalice. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Lol. Alright. Devoted Druid it is, I guess. I was at a loss for a minute there to figure out what was going on. But yeah, that'll do it. They needed to condescend for a little more than that. And now I'm just going to play Shalai. Pass the turn, I think. Now they might. Their last card's Wormcoil, so yeah, this got pretty bad for our opponent. Actually, we're not out of the woods yet. They still have a Wormcoil, but I mean, just activating Shalai might be enough to win the game now. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, let's see. Just tapping out for the Wormcoil, I imagine. Yep. All right, that's fine. We can take a few hits from that. Misty Rainforest is very good. Very, very good. I wonder if we can win now. So give me 6 mana. I can't actually play the Duskwatch Recruiter, though. That's the problem. Well, I have a Duskwatch Recruiter in my graveyard. So I could... We actually have this. So all we need to do is get the... Alright, so I just need a creature in play. And then I need an Eldritch Evolution. So it actually doesn't even really matter what I get back here with the Renegade Rallier. I'm just going to... Well, okay. Here's what we're going to do. Alright, I figured it out. We should win here. It's going to take a lot of clicks, but I think we've got it. This gives us the Revolt. Yeah, this gives us Revolt to get back Duskwatch or whatever we want. And then we Eldritch Evolution away, I guess, the Rallier to get the... Yep, this will work. We Eldritch Evolution away Rallier to go get... Come on, game. All right. Eldritch Evolution away Rallier. Go get Vizier of Remedies. Put it directly into play. Have infinite mana. Have Shalai. Attack with Shalai. Win game. We did it. Well, that was a wild game, actually. Winning through Chalice on 2 is pretty sweet. I won't lie. That was fun. I don't like how many times I'm going to have to click this, though. It's kind of BM. Quality BM, but BM. All right, nice. Thank you, opponent. Thank you. All right, I would have had to put 6 mana into my pool 12 times. I would have taken a minute. All right, we got there. I wonder what that game would have looked like if that Condescend hadn't resolved. Well, whatever, I'll take it. Magus of the Moon, yes, please. Kataki's War Wage, that seems reasonable. Of creatures only, that's not very good. Pride Mage seems fine. Skooz seems good. Rex Sage seems good. I'm trying to hedge against Platinum Angels and that sort of thing. Postmortem Lunge, by the way, this is another way. We actually have a lot of ways to play around a Chalice on 2. It's kind of funny. Alright, they have counterspells, so I'm going to cut a couple Eldritch Evolutions. I'm going to cut a Birds of Paradise. I'm going to cut a Postmortem Lunge. I'm going to cut a Duskwatch. I'm just going to shave on pieces of the combo here. This gets back 2 or less, so I wonder if getting back... I wonder if Thrun's good here. Or Spellskite or something. Spellskite never good with Kataki, I guess. Don't really know exactly what I need to be playing around from them is the thing. Chalice is the most annoying for sure, and we have a lot of 2-drops in the deck. I need to cut something, actually. I'm just going to cut the other evolution. I don't really want to sacrifice my creatures into counter spells. That game was sweet, though. That game 1 was nice. It was not how I expected to win, but I will take it. This hand's actually pretty bad. It's got some pieces, but they don't really do anything. Magus of the Moon in the hand's the worst place it could be. This obviously isn't great, but hey, it's got 2/3 of the combo in it. Alright, well, sure, fair enough, I guess. None of this is exactly what I'm looking for. My opponent might just Turbo Tron us here. Yep, that is what's happening. Oh, it's not what's happening, actually. Not exactly, anyways. Wonder if I'll get a chance to court for Magus of the Moon before I die. I could draw Kataki off the top. That'd be fine, too. What's my opponent following up with here? Another map, or... Yeah, another map. Okay, good for them. How about Kataki, please? Kataki off the top? Never lucky. I think that's essentially the same as Vizier playing that Hierarch. So I'm just going to be more mana efficient this turn. Because the Hierarch would tap for mana for the core just the same as the Vizier will. And in fact, we can play the Hierarch for 1 next turn and it'll be a net even with the Cord. My opponent just played a land. They're not just trying to turbo out Tron here. They're going to play Grafdigger's Cage. Well, that's pretty good again. It's pretty good against us. I have 2 Cords of Calling in my hand. That's... Oh, no. Well, that's a card we might... Oh, I should have played Hierarch. Well, that's not a card we might not be able to beat this card. Card was tailor-made against decks like ours, it turns out. If this was a Birds of Paradise, we could play Magus of the Moon. Which should be pretty nice. It wouldn't shut him down or anything. Blue Tron plays around Blood Moon effects better than any other Tron deck in the format. Because Tron isn't necessary to what they do. They can just play counter spells and bounce spells or removal spells or whatever and then play Wormcoil. That said, now they do have Tron. And 9 mana. Could be very bad for us. They are 1 short of Mindslaver in us this turn. Not that a Mindslaver would really do much, but... well, that's what they're setting up, because I assume they're going to get Academy Ruins with this. A Walking Ballista. Oh, that's pretty good, too. Yeah, I don't think we can win. Yeah, it's a really big Ballista. I'm just going to scoop that one up. I just actually can't win that game. Yeah, I get it. They play Ballista. We play... I was going to fetch on the inset. We wouldn't have been able to trigger this. Which actually wouldn't have been that good. We just don't think we were ever going to beat that Walking Ballista. Actually, maybe I want to keep the birds, cut the Hierarch because of that Magus of the Moon problem. Do we have any other ways here to deal? We just have nothing. Oh, man. All right. We just have nothing to deal with that stupid Grafdigger's Cage. I'm going to keep this hand. It is questionable, and if we get dismembered, even if we get dismembered, actually, it's fine. We have the Hierarch and the birds. If we hit land, we can go turn 2 Magus of the Moon. We have Pride Mage to deal with the Grafdigger's Cage. All right, we're in a much better position this game. We actually have the cards in our hand rather than our deck, which makes a big difference. They have Eldrazi Temple, huh? That's interesting. And a map. Okay. Nice draw. All right. I guess I do need to fetch out some basics here, though. since we're going to be playing Magus of the Moon, hopefully. All right, we also have a pretty reasonable attacker here. I mean, this Qasali Pride Mage is going to be a 4-power attacker, if nothing else, with the double Exalted. And who knows, we might just get a Moon him out of the game. Like I said, it doesn't do that much because they have basic islands and they have talismans and stuff. Basically, it only stops things like Temple and Tron, but... I mean, but even that obviously does have value. I could also Eldritch Evolution. I don't think I can win unless I draw another piece here. I basically have one piece, 2 pieces kind of even of the combo with Cord and Eldritch Evolution. But we need the 3rd piece. We could get there, though. Like, what if we just hit land? Would that work? I don't think so. Our opponent's a little bit in the tank here. I'm not sure what they're thinking about. Maybe thinking about what cards they want to expose to Pride Mage. I don't know. But this Pride Mage is just in here to attack for 4, really. Rex Sage is nice. Yeah, first things first, get in there. Double Exalted, yes please. What is this? Are they gonna... They're gonna Spatial Contortion it. That works out just fine for me, to be honest. I'm just going to play Rex Sage and blow up the map. Obviously, could have used this to blow up the map, but Rex Sage will do it anyways and give me an attacker. And maybe I could have done that, saved it, played something else, but I don't even want to play anything else this turn. That's the thing. Is I don't even want to play the Quarter or the Eldritch Evolution because I don't know what pieces I need. Although, obviously, now I'm going to get punished because they slam map or cage. It might have been pretty bad. Feels pretty unlucky, but it also might have been pretty bad. Well, I guess we get to attack here. Yeah, I might have punted that one. I mean, the truth is I had F6. I just reflexively clicked through it, but might get pretty punished for that. Let's see what this card is. Chalice on 2, huh? Okay. We might be able to just win a fair game, though. I can play Magus, but I'm down to 1 blue. Get in there for 3. I mean, I think I probably messed this game up, to be honest, but we'll see what we can do here. Yeah, I just misclicked through, and then I thought it would be fine. Clearly, it's not going to be fine, because that basically is the extent of our artifact interaction. It's pretty bad. That's the way it goes sometimes, though. Sometimes you just mess up. But I get to get in for 4 here. Our opponent can't play Snapcasters because of their own Chalice. I mean, heck, they're down to 10. What's this? Some sort of draw spell, maybe? Also, they can't cast any more Spatial Contortions without colorless mana. So, and they're playing Eldrazi Temple, so they could have Thought Knots and stuff. Depending on what their hand is, they could reasonably not be able to do much. Now, they're going to repeal our Devoted Druid? Okay. I mean, that doesn't really matter because I wasn't comboing this game at this point anyways. I'm just going to be trying to attack them 3 more times before they dig out of not having anything but 1 blue mana. Well, it's an interesting draw. And now I wish I had that mana because I could Eldritch Evolution away a creature, do nothing, but then Renegade Rallier back to the Qasali. Oh, no, I can't. Not against the... Can't do that against the Chalice of the Void anyways. All right, well, we'll get in for 2 here. Our opponent is basically signaling that they don't really have anything. I guess I just fetch a basic forest while I can. I mean, this gives us Revolt, which is nice, but with the Grafdigger's Cajun play, it doesn't do much. I guess it's just an attacker. This only stops creatures, right? So I can fetch. All right, here's what we're going to do. We're going to fetch. I believe I have access to 6 mana this turn. Yeah, I just Renegade Rallier back the land and play Magus of the Moon. I've actually put more power into play. I guess I should have grabbed the Windswept instead, but I don't think it really matters. Because if our opponent deals with our board, we're pretty screwed anyways. Alright, well now we actually have 7 power in play. If our opponent was just trying to tread water with that repeal, that wasn't the worst. I mean, this is lethal next turn. Like, rather, not the next turn. Not when we untap, but they need a big turn here. They only have 5 lands too, so they could be sitting on Platinum Angels and Worm Coils and who knows what in hand. And a bunch of cards they can't play. And we'll see what it is. They can pop the map. That's what they're going to do. I would assume this is good for us. Yeah, I don't really know what a second island for a second blue source. I'm not really sure what that would do for them. They can just get another land, but if they're doing that on their main phase to make their land drop, it means we get to hit them for a bunch. Worm Coil becomes the problem. They could untap it 1 life with a Worm Coil and stabilize. They did get an island. Yeah, that's what I'm actually scared of now, is that we hit them down to 1, and then they untap with Worm Coil, and we can't attack anymore. Another map. Okay, well, I don't really think we have any draws that do anything here. I mean, Shalai would, a flyer would, for sure. Hierarch actually wins the game too here. If this works. If we get in for 7 right here, we actually put them down to 1, and even if they untap with Worm Coil, I guess we already had it. Hierarch Exalting Birds of Paradise would actually finish them off, but we'll beat him. Okay, well, let's see what happens. I don't know. This is an odd game. I wonder if I'm going to get... I mean, I messed up earlier, and we'll see how hard I get punished for it. They're thinking it through. I think they actually need to repeal something here. All right, well, it's going to be close. They're thinking about it. This has been a good match. All right, here we go. They are going to cast something. What is it? I think it's if they have another repeal. Oh my gosh. That's not going to work. I'm sorry, friend. That is a Cyclonic Rift into your own Chalice of the Void. That will not get it done. You have to take 7 here and go down to 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I mean, if they had land, if they had mapped instead, they could have overloaded this on their next turn. I think that would have been a better play for them. I guess there's no reason not to play my Hierarch here. That way we... I mean, I guess it doesn't really matter. Alright, well, they're at 1. Let's see what it is. Is it Worm Coil? Yeah, we win. We beat Worm Coil Engine. Wow, what a match. Or game. I don't even know if we're the match. It's not the match. But it is this game over. The old Birds of Paradise beatdown strategy. Just like if we drew it up, am I right? Yeah, that'll finish it off. To be fair, it would have finished him off at 2 even. All right, we did it. We got there against Blue Tron. I was not as punished as maybe as I should have been. Sometimes there's no justice in the world. But hey, sometimes you make mistakes. Everyone makes mistakes. And you got to just, you know, buckle up and try to come back from it. And that's what we did there. We found some lines afterwards that worked out pretty well. That was a good one. Thanks for watching, everybody. Hey, everybody. Welcome back. Here we go with some more of this Postmortem Lunge deck. It's going to be fun. This card is sweet. Return target creature card, convert him and cost X. Bring your graveyard to the battlefield, gains haste, sacrifice of the Incept. I'm in exile, but that's great. So that could come in very handy here, especially we'll see what our hand ends up looking like. I am going to keep this. It's not a crazy hand, I think. Obviously, a hand with a Mana Dork is much better. But I think it's a reasonable hand, if nothing else. We get to play Fauna Shaman on turn 2. We get to pitch the other Fauna Shaman to go get combo pieces. And with the Cord in hand and the Eldritch Evolution, I mean, to be honest, we're not that far away from comboing. And that's the cool thing about this deck. It just has so many redundant pieces. There's been a lot of fast versions of the deck. There's been, really, really grindy versions of the deck. There's been a lot of things, but what there hasn't necessarily been is just a really, truly consistent version of the deck that isn't also a glass cannon. And that's what I like about this list here. We're going to Tron. Let's see if they have turn 3 Tron or not. We at least are on the play, so we got a shot here. Seems like our live total probably doesn't matter too much. Our hand is slow, though. Our hand is good. It's good at doing what it needs to do, but it is pretty slow at doing it. But we'll see. I mean, at least next turn we can put Devoted Druid into play, so we're putting a lot of pressure on our Tron opponent here to have turn 3 Tron, which, I mean, to be fair, they probably do. They kept 7. They had a Tron Land Expedition map. I mean, so they're going to obviously have it on turn 3, as they always do against me. Oh, we're just going to draw it, huh? Well, that's kind of nice. Well, okay, I can get behind that. Now, this might change things here. Now, the problem is if they have Karn, they just get to exile our Devoted Druid, which makes the game a lot more difficult, but not impossible. We'll see. I mean, basically, if they have anything but Karn, I mean, let's say their payoff in this hand is Ugin, we're actually going to kill them on turn 4 here. We're gonna search for the Vizier at the instep, and then just untap, have infinite mana, Court of Calling. So as long as it's not a Karn here, we're actually good to go. That's what it comes down to. Or obviously they could have Dismember or something. I mean, these decks do play removal. It's a Karn, huh? Well, you know what? Karn, I guess they showed me. I mean, wow, that was embarrassing. I said if they have Karn, then we win. Or if they don't have Karn, then we win. And if they have Karn, we lose. And then said they have Karn, and we're just going to win anyways. So, joke's on me, I guess. I feel like a dum-dum. Turns out I meant Karn Liberated. Either way, let's just go ahead and win the game. How about that? Pitches other Fauna Shaman. Go get our Vizier of Remedies. Untap. Play Vizier of Remedies. Have infinite mana. We can show our opponent Cord. We can Eldritch Evolution. We have a million ways to do it. We will use the... then we'll use the Cord to go get the Duskwatch Recruiter, draw our deck until we hit Walking Ballista, and deal infinite damage to our opponent. See how many times they make us walk through this, though. Happy to do it. The nice part, too, about this combo is compared to some of the other combos that these type of decks would play or whatever on Magic Online, is that this one is a lot fewer clicks, which is nice. All right, we'll just go ahead and Cord here. Hopefully this is enough for our opponent to just scoop, but we'll see. All right, Duskwatch Recruiter is in play. I've never had to actually go through the full combo online before. Hopefully our opponent scoops, but we'll see. If not, I'm going to have to tap this Devoted Druid quite a few times. That Karn would have been pretty scary if we didn't just have a turn 3 kill here? Turn 4. We had a turn 4 kill. And now my opponent's thinking about it. Okay, well, fair enough. They have no responses that I'm aware of, so you may as well let me combo. But yeah, we can actually click through this pretty quickly. I mean, we're going to have to activate this a bunch, but we'll find the Ballista, and it's, 50, 60 clicks or something in total. Which, as far as comboing on Magic Online goes, is actually pretty reasonable. But I'm not sure about our opponent holding priority here and not letting us continue to play when they're tapped out playing Tron and have no responses. So, okay. I guess we'll just wait this one out here for a minute. This hand was sweet. Unfortunately, we didn't even get to use our Postmortem Lunge, which is awesome. But if our opponent had had something else, it could have worked out very well. All right, so yeah, I'll just click a bunch here. Oh, my opponent has realized they lost now. Okay. Yeah, I agree. They're typing in chat. All right, so it looks like we're going to be on to game 2 here. I guess I can actually just go ahead and activate my Fauna Shaman to just go get the Walking Ballista directly. Save us a little bit of time. No need to even go for the Dusk. I went and got the Duskwatch Recruiter. I didn't even need to. It didn't matter. All right, I'm going to tell my opponent we're getting Ballista now. They said that combo is crazy. It is quite crazy. It's pretty good. All right, let's go ahead and make infinite mana. And, 36 mana from now, we'll have our opponent dead or something. But like I said, it's luckily a pretty easy combo to click through. I'll say this. I guess this comes down to this sort of where you fall on the timing people out as a legitimate way to play Magic online. I just think that I don't know. It's fine, I guess, and it is part of the game. I just don't see the point, right? Like, what's going to happen most of the time, especially in a situation like this, where we're just comboing out, is both players are going to spend 2 or 3 minutes waiting on this. You're going to take some time off of our clock, sure. But at the end of it, you're going to lose the game. So, like, I just don't get it. I just don't understand the point. It's one thing if we're in, like, a PTQ finals or something, and that clock's a real thing. But, I mean, we're just playing matches of Modern here. But whatever, I play my deck to combo, so I'm going to go ahead and combo off. That's the other thing, too. People talk about this sometimes with other combo decks. Like, I play my combo decks, and I play a lot of combo decks sometimes. I play them to combo. I enjoy comboing. It's like with KCI. People just scoop every time you start to get things together. You don't have the fun of figuring it out. It's just it's like a Splinter Twin sort of thing at that point. But in this case, yeah, I'm happy to go for it. Work our way up to 40 here. And then we'll play this big Walking Ballista. It's just, I generally prefer, and maybe this is the wrong approach, I like to treat Magic Online like I'm playing paper Magic, because the point of Magic Online is to approximate paper Magic. It's not meant to be a separate game. You're supposed to be playing Magic. And in paper, this game would already be over, obviously. But online, I have to require some clicks. Fortunately, most people don't make you do this. Most people are pretty good about just scooping to the combos, but to each their own. All right, I have successfully managed to kill the 90 seconds it took me to combo off here, so let's go ahead and play our Walking Ballista. Click 40 times here. All right, X equals 21. We did it. Now we'll do this 19 more times. Wow, it's been a minute since I've run into having to actually work through this on Magic Online. I mean, it's kind of fun, I won't lie. I just don't like the dead time it makes for being on air talking to all of you. I can kill it. I'm pretty good at just talking to a camera. I don't know if that's a skill I ever thought I would develop early in life. I don't really think it's something I had in my repertoire. But here we are. All right, we're almost there. Our opponent's down to 6, down to 5. Well, I guess I have to be prepared. If I win 2 games, I'm going to have to do this twice. They're going to make me go through it twice, huh? All right. Fair enough. Not the way I like to play, but there we go. Game over. On to game 2 against Tron here, huh? All right, so we have some stuff I like. We have Magus of the Moon. We have Reclamation Sage. We have Kataki. I wonder if we need anything else here. I'll play a Selfless Spirit. Postmortem Lunge we'll probably cut one of those. We'll cut a Mana Dork here. I'm going to keep the Birds of Paradise so we can make red mana for Magus of the Moon. I'm going to cut Renegade Rallier. They're not really going to be lightning bolting us or whatever. I'm going to cut a Duskwatch Recruiter. All right, so that gets us down to 60. Do I want anything else here? Forge Cinders we don't need. Cleric doesn't matter. Auriok Champion doesn't matter. Scooz doesn't matter. Pride Mage kind of matters. I'll play a Pride Mage over another Duskwatch Recruiter. Like I said, our opponent is doing so little to interact with us. It should be honestly fairly trivial for us to put the combo together. It's a different story, resolving it through all of their stuff or whatever. But I don't mind cutting pieces because they're not really going to interact with us outside of a fast Karn or what have you there. Yeah, it's got to be. I mean, they had a pass Karn in that game. They had a turn 3 Karn. Just wasn't quite good enough. Well, I'm keeping the hand. This is a turn 3 kill. Wow, this one is a lot of clicks, though. This one is a whole bunch of clicks. Oh, JK, we found the Ballista. Man, you just sometimes just play this deck, because sometimes you just have hands like this. I was thinking about mulliganing. Obviously, we had no red mana to cast this. Our opponent's going to have turn 3 Tron again. We might be dead, but we have a turn 3 kill. All right, there's a Devoted Druid. Next turn we play Vizier of Remedies. Just kill him. Like I said, though, our opponent has a turn 3 Tron. So if they have a different if they have Karn Liberated, 7 mana Karn, and they get to exile our Devoted Druid, I mean, we've got a different game. But we'll see what they have here. They do have Karn Liberated this time around. All right, so this game's going to be much more difficult. They had their best hand. All right, so the good news for us, though, is that we actually just have this other one, and we actually just force them to minus Karn Liberated again, which means not only do they need the turn 3 Tron plus turn 3 Karn Liberated, they're going to need another payoff card to kill us, or they're going to have to at least remove their own Karn to minus our Devoted Druid here or we win. So, yeah, that's what they're going to do. Makes sense. I mean, Karn 2 for 1 us, but hey, we got rid of it at least. And then they might just have another and we'll be dead, but yeah, all right. I guess we get outplayed this time around, but that's magic. No, there's not really anything we can do there. I think you have to keep a turn 3 kill hand. I think it's ridiculous not to. So we're not going to beat this though. Yeah, we're not going to beat this. All right, on to game 3. Very fun interactive Magic, just like always against Tron. I'm just kidding. I always have to keep in mind there are some new listeners who don't understand my love-hate relationship with Tron, and that I love the hate on the deck. It's just that it's just fun. It's just fun. Nothing wrong with playing the deck. Nothing wrong with the deck. It's just fun to talk about. All right, so I think I want to mulligan this hand. It's certainly fine, but it's slow, and the Magus of the Moon in our hand is not where we want it. In. Don't think we're going to need that. In fact, all I really need are lands here. 1 mana source, I think, will win us the game. Yeah, we'll see, though, because maybe that's not necessarily true. Having double Vizier of Remedies is great, but without... I mean, we need Devoted Druid, really. That's the more important piece to have, because that's the one that has Summoning Sickness. Oh, look at that. Our opponent doesn't have the map this time around. Oh, we hit the land. All right. I'm very good at this game sometimes. Yeah, I think we just go for the win here. Just going to go for the turn 3 win. Oh, this deck is so good at just having consistent ways to win on turn 3 with all these different pieces. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to Eldritch Evolution this Noble Hierarch away. Certainly going to take us a long time to win. It's going to be many clicks to win this game, but we should have it. We'll get our Devoted Druid. We'll pass the turn. Next turn we play Vizier of Remedies, make infinite green mana. Cord for Duskwatch Recruiter, go get Walking Ballista and win. So let's see if my opponent makes me click through all of it this time around. Can't blame him. It's game 3. That said, we have 18 minutes. I think we're going to be okay. All right, so they're going to throw away their star here. To get some green mana. They have their second plant. Now, do they have the Sylvan Scrying as well? They do, so they actually have turn 3 Tron again. Unfortunately for them, we just have a turn 3 kill. See, this game. Automol to 6. Turn 3 kill. This deck is sick. I'm telling you, Eldritch Evolution is so good in Modern. It's just a tutor. That's the least, I don't know if it's say least restrictive. It's one of the least restrictive tutors in all of the format. It's just crazy. All right, so there's the Vizier of Remedies. Time to make infinite mana. Well, this is the moment when you're watching. You know we have the game 1. Our opponent stepped out. We have the Court of Calling. So feel free to turn off the video now. I'm going to go ahead and click through it just because You're going to make me click through the combo. I'm going to play the combo, that's for sure. All right, we'll cord. We will go get our Duskwatch Recruiter. Make infinite mana again. I wish there was a way when your opponent was F6 on Magic Online to just say, I want to repeat, click a button that says start loop. Do stuff. Click another button that says end loop. And then you have a loop. And your opponent can respond if they want, but maybe they also don't respond and you just get to reiterate your loop. In this case, I could just make 10 mana and then say repeat the make 10 mana loop, that sort of thing. But it is what it is. We'll just work our way through this real quick here. Okay. Well, don't have that Walking Ballista yet, but we will get there. It is a guaranteed kill. All right. Okay, so here we go. We've got a couple more mana to try again. My opponent just asked, did I lose? I think they're probably just not familiar with the combo, which makes all of, making us go through it completely reasonable. All right. This was a crazy match. This is one of the less exciting parts of Modern. Modern has some crazy interactive fun games, and sometimes you just take turns killing each other on turn 3. Which is essentially what happened when they played that Karn against us last time around. The Game 2 Karn, that is. Alright, where's that Walking Ballista at? It's got to be here somewhere. Oh. My opponent has adjusted that our combo needs to be banned. I mean, it is a really good combo. I don't think it's on the level of being banned because it's like a tiny percentage of the metagame, to be honest, but it is quite good. It's a 3-card combo. I mean, 3-card combos are fine. I mean, this is Modern. Heck, half the decks I play can go off on turn... I've played my share of bad turn 2 combo decks before. Turn 3? Totally inbounds. All right. Okay. Still not there yet. We'll find it. We may draw our whole deck first, but we'll get there. For what it's worth, when you go off this way, you can't actually... You need Shalai in play to go off this way. Alright, let's see here. We've probably gone through most of our deck in multiples of 3 at this point. Walking Ballista's got to be near the top. Alright, there we go. Walking Ballista. Alright, now we can just make a bunch of mana. Get on up to 40. Alright, so we'll just click this a bunch here, and we'll get there in the end. That was a... What the heck? Alright. Sometimes I guess I click faster than Magic Online here. I guess that's what's going on. But like I said, I mean, those old Abzan and Company decks where you had to sacrifice everything to Vizier, and the end thing was to gain a bunch of life and stack your deck with Kitchen Finks, that's just miserable to try to go through on Magic Online. At least this combo on Magic Online just wins the game on the spot. You know, it's a bunch of clicks you've got to make with your devoted Druid, but it could be a lot worse. I mean, and the important part, I think, too, is that once you make those clicks, you've just won the game, as opposed to with those old, with those old Kitchen Finks combo decks, you gain infinite life, except on Magic Online it's not infinite. So you would end up gaining, like 50, 150 life or something, eating up your clock, but then you don't actually win the game off of it, which means you then have to repeat the process with your Murderous Redcap after that. So it's sort of this combo is much more playable in Magic Online. Like I said, my goal is to generally just replicate paper Magic, where those decks you know, infinite life could be beaten by infinite damage when you play it in the mirror or something. And on Magic Online, that's just not quite the way it works. All right. Nonetheless, we are almost there. Just a second. My opponent's asking about how strong this deck we're playing is. I think it's very strong. I think this is one of the best versions of this Vizier combo deck. All right, so we're up to 37 mana. This is not, man, it was so much easier to make mana with our mono red token deck I played a few weeks ago, when you just get up to 50, 60, 100 mana at once. I would like that right now. All right. Almost there. All right, 37. Come on, buddy. F6 for me, please. All right, sorry, chatting with my opponent here. But like I said, I assume most of you clicked off this video 5 minutes ago when it became clear when we had the that we had the combo. I'm gonna go ahead and cast Walking Ballista, and then I might just scoop to my opponent. I don't need the tickets that badly. I kind of think anyone who wants me to click through all of this, they probably need the Magic Online tickets more than I do. So you know what? GG's. All right, everybody. This is Mighty Modern. I'm Corbin Hostler. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. I'll see you all next time. Hey everybody, welcome back to the deck tech here for Postmortem Lunge Evolution. So Postmortem Lunge, pay X life, or I'm sorry, X mana, 2 life, or black mana. Usually just pay your 2 life. Return target creature card with converted mana cost X or less from the graveyard to the battlefield against haste, exile at the end step. So, why it's really good in this deck is we're trying to put together Devoted Druid, Vizier of Remedies combo. You've seen this combo a million times, but I think, and I could be wrong, but I think this is the best version of this combo deck in terms of putting together the combo. You will notice, by the way, our only 4 drops, Shalai, no collected companies, because this deck, the goal, it's just that the companies, the fair companies in this Vizier of Remedies combo deck just hardly ever got you there. You know, it just wasn't necessarily that good when your plan essentially just became to combo every game anyways. It was just a slower way of doing that. You know what does that really, really well? Postmortem Lunge and Eldritch Evolution. Eldritch Evolution, 3 mana, sacrifice a creature. Go get a creature with converted mana cost X or less, where X is 2 plus the converted mana cost of the sacrifice creature. So, what that means, by the way, is we can fetch. We have fetch lands. You know, what's up, Teeth, Wooded Foothills, Misty Rainforests. Fetch out a Dryad Arbor. Eldritch Evolution it. Go get a combo piece, because it's X plus 2. 0 plus 2 is 2. We can go get Devoted Druid or Vizier of Remedies. Then, obviously, once you have infinite mana, you cast Walking Ballista to win. You cast Shalai, Voice of Plenty to win, because you can put infinite counters on your creatures with your infinite mana. Or you get Duskwatch Recruiter to then draw through your deck to get the Walking Ballista, which means, because of Duskwatch, that Court of Calling becomes another way to combo. It doesn't just go get your combo pieces, the half and the Devoted Druid and the Vizier of Remedies. It gets the win condition as well by being able to go get Duskwatch Recruiter, which will then find Walking Ballista using your infinite activation. So that's the deck. I mean, that's the combo. And unlike other decks that had, you know, they looked like this, they were very similar. You want to combo, but oh, you're playing elves, or oh, you're playing this value collected company deck. This deck's all in on the combo, but it's not a glass cannon in on the combo. It's just an extremely resilient way to put it together because you have so many pieces. Eldritch Evolution finds you your cards. Court of Calling finds you your combo. Postmortem Lunge brings back your combo, including Devoted Druid, which is previously a card you'd have to untap with, so it can actually do its thing and make mana. But with Postmortem Lunge, even if you just have Vizier of Remedies in play, you can Postmortem Lunge, bring it back with haste, and make your infinite mana. Heck, we've even got Renegade Rallier here with its Revolt ability, can bring back a permanent with converted mana cost 2. That's all your combos. I mean, heck, I won through Chalice of the Void on 2 with this deck just by Eldritch Evolutioning, Court of Calling, Renegade Rallying, all the pieces into play. Even Fauna Shaman gets in on the action, discarding whatever you have in your hand to go find the piece you need. So, and 8 mana dorks, of course. So that's the deck. I mean, it seems straightforward, but this is just an incredibly good version of this deck. I think it's the newest and best version of it out there, so I wanted to show it off this week. So onto the sideboard. We're actually got a pretty sweet sideboard here. Because we have Eldritch Evolution, which, you know, if you've watched a lot of Mighty Modern, you know I'm a sucker for this card and how much flexibility it offers. And that is evident in our sideboard because we have a 15-card sideboard where only 2 of them are duplicates, Burrington, Fortuners. Everything else is just a Cord or Eldritch Evolution target. Fortuners, of course, can protect you from burn spells or Anger of the Gods, Kataki for Affinity, Magus of the Moon for Tron, Cleric for Graveyard decks, Selfless Spirit for Wrath decks, Eidolon for Storm, Fairgrounds Warden when you need to get rid of a creature, Linvala to just turn off all your opponent's creatures, a great silver bullet, as is Thrun the Last Troll. You'll just single-handedly win against control with this card. Scavenging Ooze, Reclamation, Sage, as expected, Quasali Primate, and Spellsky. It is just a toolbox. It is as toolboxy as it gets, but all of that toolbox comes together to help you put together the combo. So that's the deck, everybody. It's a lot of fun. I think it's a great version of this deck, one of the better builds. It's been pretty sweet. So thank you for watching, everybody. I'm Corbin Hostler. This is Mighty Modern.